I realize that I realize now that this channel needs an intro. Either way, this is part one of What If I Was in Demon Slayer. Of course, this is my appearance. I do not own any of the art in this video. Neither do I own Demon Slayer as a whole. All rights go to respective owners. I don't know who drew this, but whoever drew this is incredibly fucking talented, and I applaud you. Of course, as it says here, the ship is gonna be Feminosuke. Um. Let's get this started. Also, this is my Nichiren blade. This starts a couple years before Demon Slayer. Like a good couple of years, like literally before I think around the time Tanjiro was born. Like how long was Tanjiro again? Around around 13 years ago. So it's around 13 to 14 years ago, let's say. A guy by the name of Kaguya Ubuyashiki was walking through the snow. In the middle of the night, as he heard a child crying. He looked over and saw a demon about to consume the child. Ubuyashiki killed the demon and then stared at the child. He appears to have been abandoned in the snow. He had white markings on his face and a white streak in his hair. In two different colored eyes. One green and one red. This was strange to Kaguya. It appears this child might have been abandoned for his appearance. As remember, during the time, the Japanese were very, how do I say this? Very superstitious, having a child like this would be considered cursed. So, Ubuyashiki took him in. Over time, he trained him in the art of swordsmanship and the art of being a demon slayer. He discovered that this child might have a potential for learning flame breathing. As he heard that after a while, he heard that Kyojiro was having trouble finding an apprentice. This current timeline that I'm talking about, when he found that he probably has potential for flame breathing, is a year prior to Demon Slayer, so he is around 12. So, he trained for a year under Rengoku. Because of his fiery passion and personality, he did not give up in his training, pushing himself to the point where he became the Tsuguko, or apprentice, under Rengoku, his successor, even mastering the first form. Now, of course, Rengoku kinda delayed him entering the final selection for a few months. This will be important later and why I decided to have this be delayed. Rengoku believed that, while he did master the first form, he has mastered the first form, has viewed him as ready. Of course, this infuriated him, but due to Rengoku being his master, he chose to not say anything. During his training, during that night, he trained non-stop to the point where as he stared into the flames of a bonfire that he made himself outside. He stared into the flame deeply, and that's when he discovered something. The key to mastering flame breathing is to become the flame itself. So doing that, he used the first form. Overnight, he trained in it over and over and over. Despite him already mastering the first form, he decided to go even further, completing it to perfection. So the Rengoku saw it that morning. That's when he knew he was ready. He sent him off to final selection. And that's when he met up with a certain, I think brunette, brunette, with a box, not with a box, certain brunette wearing a blue, what was it called, a blue haori, and had a weird scar on his head. He walked over to him and said, "Hey kid, what's your name?" He said, "I'm Tanjiro Kamado." Ubuyashiki. First name or last name? Last name. I'm not telling you my first name. I just met you. Tanjiro's first thought was, okay, this guy seems to be a little scary. Zenitsu, on the other hand, was shitting bricks at this moment, staring at this guy who was essentially just staring all of them down. Of course, the final selection started, and he started killing demon upon demon with ease, using his mastery of the first form. Of course, with this, he managed to reach final selection. He'll pass the final selection after a week. That's when he saw that very few survived. A girl by the name of Kano, Tanjiro, of course, and Zenitsu, and Genya. Genya, of course, being impatient, is like, "Where's my sword?" This man's like, "Dude, they're gonna give you your sword. They're gonna give you your sword soon. Calm down." Of course, Genya was having none of that, but still being impatient and threatened one of the girls. This man got mad enough, got in his face, and told him, "Hey, back off!" He's like, "Hey, back off!" Of course, Genya was having none of that, and this man was like, "Listen, I understand that you killed a couple of demons in there, but just wait enough time. They're gonna give you your sword soon." Jeez, and I thought I was impatient. So eventually, he decided to go with Tanjiro. He's like, "You seem very interesting. I think I'm gonna stick with you." He's like, "Why?" "Because you seem like a weakling, and you managed to reach final selection. Although so does that guy, but I think I'm gonna have a lot of problems getting along with him." Tanjiro's like, I see. Okay, Ubuyashiki, just come with me, I guess." So every time they started traveling, right, and they found the one where the demons started popping out of the ground with the portals and everything. Of course, both him and things go as canon, but he finds another demon in the area, one that was close to them. A lower rank Moon 12. Of course, he believed it as a way to, like, kind of, rise the ranks, like, quickly. So, he used the first form of flame breathing and fought the demon. Tanjiro was watching this fight. He's like, "Why is he only using the first form?" And he managed to not only overwhelm the demon using the first form in 3 times in succession, but straight up decapitated the lower rank. Of course, at this time, Rengoku was talking to Ubuyashiki, saying that he should be promoted. Ubuyashiki was questioning this, and he said, "Why was someone that perfected the first form is not that impressive?" He said, "Because he's also mastered the 9th form without being a Rengoku." Of course, Rishiki found this interesting, no Yukata, and he said, "Well, he is my adoptive son. Of course, he has some skill. I guess I could promote him to Kinoe." So after a couple of days, he was promoted to rank Kinoe. Of course, he saw this coming. He's like, "Of course, I'd be ranked Kinoe." Tanjiro's like, "You're very confident in yourself, aren't you?" He's like, "Well, I have been trained since I was a child, so I guess I can learn. Guess I can be pretty confident. So I guess I have a right to be very confident in my abilities." "So how long have you been trained to be a demon slayer?" Tanjiro's like, "A year." "You reached that far in only a year?" Tanjiro's like, "Yeah." "How the hell did you manage to do that?" "Well, I mean, I mastered I mastered the 9th form of the 9th. And I mastered all 9 forms of flame breathing, but jeez. But I've been training for most of my life. It makes sense." Hang on. I mean, I've been training for most of my life. How the hell did someone that hasn't been training at all manage to master water breathing in a year?" I'm just like, I don't know. Whatever. I'm just like, "You seem very aggressive, aren't you?" I don't really care anymore. He just put his sword away. Tanjiro's like, question?" "Yeah." "Why do you have those markings on your face?" "I don't know. I was born with them. Apparently, I was abandoned in the forest when I was a kid because their parents thought I was cursed or something." Tanjiro's like, "Could that be the reason behind your anger?" I don't know the answer to that question. I don't think I want to know. So, how about this, Tanjiro? You stay out of my business, I stay out of yours. Tanjiro's like, okay. Tanjiro's thoughts are like, wow, this guy seems very on edge. So then he hears a guy yelling, "Marry me! Marry me, please! I'm gonna die soon, please marry me!" What the hell? So they walk over and see Zenitsu begging this woman to marry him. Nothing much changes from canon there. But Tanjiro's not the only one looking at this man with disgust. See this face right here? This is the face he's using to look at Zenitsu right now. He's like, why are you staring at me like that? And why does he have his sword out? I'm just like, don't you guys remember me? I was in final selection with you guys. He's like, oh yeah, you're that annoying guy with the sparrow. Of course. It's like, yeah, you're that very scary guy. Yeah, whatever. So then the crows start flying, saying that that the three should, go to that building with the former moon demon. So no, the guy with the drums. I don't remember his name. So nothing much changes from canon, but a certain girl with a boar's head runs up into this guy's like, "I'm coming for you, demon!" He just blocks her attacks. Like, what is wrong with you? She's like, I smell a demon. I sense a demon here. Are you guarding a demon? He's like, no, most demons that face me are dead. And if you're a demon, then why the hell are you asking for them? She's like, I'm not a demon. Okay, then. Why are you so insane? You act like a fucking crazy woman. Like, you seem very strong. Fight me. Not right now. I'll fight you soon, though, if you want to fight. If you piss me off, I might actually piss me off enough, I might as well actually fight you. So, not much change from canon. Tanjiro cuts off the drum demon's head, and they leave. Of course, Inosuke asks him to fight her, and he does. He proceeds to solo her with just the first form. She's like, wow, that was pretty strong. You almost gave me the chills. I might fall in love. Okay. You're a very strange woman. You are a very, very strange woman. Hang on, let me pause the recording and do something. So, he ends up, of course, beating the crap out of Inosuke. And he just looks at her like, please. Asking for a fight against me that did not end well. So Inosuke's like, fight me again! He's like, okay. Proceeds to beat her again. This happens over and over and over. And Inosuke's like, that's it. You're now officially my husband! Wait, what? You heard me. Why am I your husband? Because you're far stronger than me. Also, you're willing to fight me. Oh, God, if we'll shut you up, then yeah, sure. I'm your husband. Fight me again. Okay. Proceeds to knock her down. This is really starting to annoy me. This is really starting to get boring. I'm not strong enough to beat you, just know that. Sure you will. Either way, so after all of that, they soon get called to the mission to the Spider Forest. Again, nothing much changes from canon, except this guy absolutely annihilates every spider demon in his wake. This man is just using the first form, mind you. This man is still just using his perfected first form. He's annihilating demons. This man's just like, this this is the power of flame breathing. The one close to sun breathing itself. And I'm only able to beat you with just my first form. I wonder how the rest of them are doing against that, upper moon. I'd be able to kill lower moon demons, but upper moons? That would be a good test of my power, wouldn't it? I might even be forced to use the 9th form. But of course, before I could do that, Tanjiro killed the fuck out of Rui. This man's of course slightly disappointed, but also slightly proud of Tanjiro and confused. How the hell did a guy who only trained for a year, well this man's trained for his whole life, was strong enough to kill an upper moon? And that's when he saw it. He saw him using sun breathing, the Hinokami Kagura. After that, this man walks over to Tanjiro with this look. He's like, how? How are we able to use the Hinokami Kagura? You remember the Kamado family, right? How were you able to use sun breathing, something so powerful? He's like, well, my father taught me when I was younger. Of course, I remember the Kamado clan. Of course, he would teach you that. Tanjiro's like, what do you have against me? I have nothing against you. In fact, I'm the only few people I consider a friend. But the Hinokami Kagura is something almost impossible for people to learn. It's kind of strange. But you know what? I'm not going to question further into it. So, of course, some of them get sent to the Butterfly Estate. He does it, but he chooses to stay with them anyway. He really has nowhere else to go. Of course, Shinobu, after seeing him, she's like, Ara, what do we have here? What are those markings on your face? What, are you sick? What, did you get poisoned? I was born with them, Shinobu, and you know that they are and you know that. Oh, yeah, I tend to forget. Why do you do this to me, Shinobu? Why? It's fun to mess with you, see how mad you get. I'm gonna kill you, Shinobu. I'm gonna fucking kill you. No wonder, you're like Tomioka-san, no one likes you. I don't need anyone to like me. I don't need anyone's approval. By the way, he's saying this with this face, by the way. Shinobu's like, yeah, sure you don't. Quit messing with me. So, apparently that boar-headed girl called you her spouse. She's annoying as fuck, but yeah. And great if only it'll shut her up. Who knows, you seem you might develop actual feelings for her. Whatever. I'm gonna go train. So he's training in the forest, and he hears, like, screaming of pain. He just walks over, he's like, they're screaming in pain over this. He's having this face, by the way. That's kind of stupid. Shinobu's like... So they're saying how this is hell. He's like, you wanna know hell? Rengoku's training is rigorous. I had to literally move boulders my first week training there. Do you understand that? Not to mention my training with Ubuyashiki. Wait, Ubuyashiki couldn't... Why do you call him by that name? Your last name. He's my adoptive father. I see. I'm still not giving you my first name though, Tanjiro. Why not? Because I just simply don't want to. Okay. So of course Zenitsu recovers, and then he starts yelling at the guys for that. This man's just looking outside, he's like, oh god, would you shut up and stop with all the yelling? He's just staring down Zenitsu, and he's like, ah! He just covers Zenitsu's mouth. Scream one more damn time. I dare you. Scream one more damn time. Zenitsu just shuts up. I'm gonna go back to training again. So of course Inosuke tries fighting him again. He immediately knocks him. He immediately knocks her down. And over time, You know, they kept training, like nothing much changes from canon. But during those few months of training, he actually starts developing genuine feelings for Inosuke. Probably didn't training her for so long. He finally found someone that matches him when it comes to his training and how he's willing to fight to become stronger. He does want to be the next flame pillar. So there's that. Well, I'm gonna next is Mugen Train. So of course they walk over to train and they ask what a train is. Like, you seriously don't know what a train is? Like, Tanja's like, nope. You're all a bunch of idiots. He explains what a train is to them as they hop on. And he sees Rengoku's like, Master Rengoku. Hey, Miyashiki, how you doing? I'm doing fine. Inosuke's like, who are you to talk to my spouse? Spouse? You two are married? Well, self-proclaimed, I guess. This man's straight up blushing. This man is blushing while looking away. He's like, self-proclaimed spouse. Her and I aren't actually married. You're... Rengoku's like, so you don't have actual feelings for her? I never said I didn't. You should really let go of all that anger. It's really just gonna hold you back. So, the whole train getting invaded thing still happens. There are a couple more demons. This man just slaughters all of them. This time using the second form and not the first. And then Akaza attacks. This man actually joins Rengoku in attacking Akaza, but in the last moment Rengoku pushes him out of the way, as he performs a ninth form and Akaza kills him. Of course, he acts like he doesn't care, but when Rengoku gave him the hilt, yeah, this time he's the one that got the guard of his blade, the flame guard, instead of Tanjiro. He said, "I pass my will to you," as Rengoku dies in his arms. While on the outside, he's still with a stoic expression. In his head, he's screaming, "Why? Why did he have to push me out of the way? I could have saved him. I could have stopped him from dying. I would have kept my master, the only few people that consider me family, and he's dead." You know that scene, if any of you watch Peacemaker, when Peacemaker was crying about how he killed Rick Flag? He was crying saying like, why did I push him away? Why did I push him like I push everyone away? Why did I do that? Why am I always so angry? And that's what I realized. Tanjiro was right. The feeling that he was cursed, the feeling that he was no good, that he was abandoned because he was cursed. That was the reason he was so angry. He was mad at the world because he was born like that. So, of course, in this timeline, Akaza dies far earlier because this man is so angry that he mastered the ninth form, but he managed to perfect it. As he challenges Akaza to a fight, Akaza's getting overwhelmed because not only from Rengoku, but another flame user. He says, "I'm gonna kill you just like I killed the other one," but this man is not listening. His rage, everything is taking him over. As the mark on his face starts to spread, Ubuyashiki says, then we switch to Ubuyashiki what's going on, says, "That mark isn't a curse. That is a Demon Slayer mark." In one final scream, he kills Akaza. With using the ninth form, Rengoku. as he puts his sword to the ground. That's now destroyed from killing Akaza. As he finally lets go, he starts crying, apologizing to Rengoku, saying he was sorry that he let him die. As the screen fades to black. And that's the end of the video. I hope all of you liked it. Hope all you liked it. You liked the twist that the white marking on his face was actually a Demon Slayer mark, that he was born with it. Who knows? Maybe he might actually learn sun breathing. We don't even know whose birth family is, so who knows? We don't know who he's related to. So, yeah. That's where I'm going to end off this video. Or who knows? Maybe it's not actually a Demon Slayer mark, and Ubuyashiku is wrong, and maybe he just has vertigo. We don't know. Either way, that's the end of the video. See you guys later.